He doesn't care about you. Can't you see that he doesn't love you? The fool is just killing time with you.
Oh no, Nsama. I will not have you insult my husband in his house. No.
This guy is not good enough for you. I mean, why should you care when he's out there jumping up and down with every woman he sees?
Am I allowed to express this? Conroy, why are you so eager about whistling in the dark that our father was murdered?
Yes, because he was. He was murdered. I mean, he was foaming when he died. What you call the tower boy?
I foam in my mouth when I sleep. Does that mean I'm poisoned?
Oh, Chikondi, stop being stupid. We are not in the mood for your rubbish right now.
And the black sheep speaks.
Don't call me that.
If I tell you what to do, are you going to do it? No, you can't even think on it. Oh, I'm there for you. Tell him I love you.
Mama, I'm going to say four people, sure. No, me.
Natika itana mose. Ikazipaya. That's what's up with us. Okay.
You. Don't be stupid. Huh? You think I'm foolish? Huh? You want to play with me? You don't know me. I can be as stunning as a crop there. Huh? Where you go? Huh? You don't want to kill me?
Outside. And outside we shall be singing goodbye, dear CJ. We shall never forget you, although you are very far away. We shall never forget you.
Last time unabona mfutankania check.
Ndio
Bobo.
Ayo mavuta hiyo. Wana Asha.
Wakunde.
Bali uyu kambio chichi. Nduja kutia kunda manini ya shari.
So, ini si why wanna para?
I didn't expect the overwhelming response. You know, I was in Chingola performing with the Fantasy Band, and I saw the video on TV on television. I was like, what? The next time I'm coming out, Sister D. I was like, how do I manage? Wow. You know, you get on a bus. I mean, we're using a bus. The conductor is busy calling people. Hey, Ngenani, your Sister D, are in bus. How am I going to handle this?
Oh, wow.
You know.
Good evening and happy African Freedom Day. Today, the 25th of May, 2026, we join the rest of the continent in celebrating African Freedom Day, a day that reminds us of the sacrifices made for freedom, unity, and the continued pursuit of peace and development across Africa. Welcome to the BMTV Main News at 18 hours, live on Topstar, channel 114, streaming live on Facebook as BMTV channel 114, on YouTube as BMTV Zambia, and online at www.bmtvzambia.com. Let's take a look at the headlines tonight. HH marks African Freedom Day with a call for unity and development. PEP seeks Trump's intervention over election participation. Mundubile calls for unity ahead of the elections. And in international news, the Democratic Republic of Congo reports more than 200 Ebola deaths, while in sports, Liverpool legend Salah bows out after 9 glorious years. To present the news in detail, my name is Temwani Nkata. Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has joined the rest of the continent in commemorating African Freedom Day, calling on citizens to uphold unity, peace, and economic transformation. In his statement, President Hichilema said African Freedom Day remains an important reminder of the continent's liberation struggle and the need for African countries to work together in promoting democracy, development, and prosperity. The head of state further urged Zambians to remain united and continue contributing to national development as the country prepares for this year's general elections. President Hichilema also reaffirmed government's commitment to improving the lives of citizens through economic reforms, job creation, and enhanced regional cooperation across Africa. More details in the following clip.
Artisanal skills graduates making desks, and our policy of local procurement, positive discrimination procurement, now entails that one we trained as a carpenter, as a welder, under the CDF skills training, is able to get business of work to supply desks, since we're not importing desks, business opportunities. They make money, the desks are available for the kids to sit in class, rather than on the floor, where they were sitting for hours on end. Are you surprised that the pass rate was low? You shouldn't. Are you surprised that the pass rate went up in 2025, first time since independence? You shouldn't be surprised. Oh, this is deliberate. This is the work, this is the role of this generation, right? To bring about peace, stability, security, to allow us to drive the economic agenda. Food security, energy. You remember the load shedding? Last year, we said by December, we will be okay. And by December, we were okay. Some are saying, no, it's a fluke. It's not a fluke. That's the job of this generation. Leadership, public office is a serious business. It's not a job. So now, for us to deliver this economic, social independence for opportunities for all our people, be it children, be it differently able, be it women, through the women quota, through the youth quota, through the differently able quota. That's the opportunity we're delivering to our people. That's the responsibility of this generation. Not quarrels, not noise, not abuse, not insults. No. But for us to do this, number 4, we need to make sure that we are responsible and we are united. Unity is very important to deliver.
In a related development, Zambia joined the rest of African continent in commemorating Africa Freedom Day, a day set aside to celebrate African unity, independence, culture, and heritage. President Hakainde Hichilema officiated at this year's celebrations in Lusaka, where he called for unity and national development ahead of this year's general elections. Our reporter, Ruth Msakabantu, has more details.
Today, African Freedom Day, also known as Africa Day, is being celebrated across the continent to commemorate the formation of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, in 1963 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The OAU later became the African Union, AU. The day honors African countries and freedom fighters who struggled against colonialism and fought for independence, unity, dignity, and self-governance across the continent. African Freedom Day is also a celebration of African identity, heritage, achievements, and unity. It reminds Africans of the importance of preserving their traditions, values, food, music, and history while working together for the development of the continent. Today, President Hakainde Hichilema officiated at the African Freedom Day celebrations in Lusaka, where he emphasized the importance of Zambians remaining united and continuing to contribute towards national development as the country prepares for this year's general elections. Meanwhile, a senior citizen, Mama Anita Funyina, said the freedom being enjoyed today was fought for by our forefathers and should be protected by the younger generation.
Mapanga machani awe benzo menyana na kamwa benzo kamba chabe ma freedom fighters benzo kamba hivi za mulungu azatipasa hivi azatipasa kukamba chabe chamene chenzepo chabe ni kugwirizana unity penze unity yakuti bakakamba ati mailo ni meeting wonse kulibe kupika wonse tienda ku meeting tukamvere bamene batiuza mwameti zankalira chamene chinapulumusa Zambia ni unity bantu benzomverana pamozi bakakamba noona bamene benze kuntango banali na vision yoziba bazatu tizankala wo free banaona benze na vision chifukwa cha vision yao yamene bamene mukambati.
Lusaka residents shared why they believe this day remains important to Africans today.
It's a day when Africans were free by foreigners. And for us celebrating it, it's us reminding ourselves that we are now free from foreigners and we can do whatever we want as Africans, because Africa is a free continent and we have the rights, privileges to do whatever we want because of our forefathers who fought for Africa. Thank you.
Tinanga na freedom muno kambaka kuti ndiye benzeko sembe kuti sivinashitike siwenzeko sembe this time stizwa kwaneti, otherwise African Freedom Day ndiye abwino maningi.
Ruth Msakabantu reporting for BMTV in Lusaka.
Patriots for Economic Progress President Sean Tembo says the party has written to Donald J. Trump seeking intervention in the ongoing electoral dispute. Tembo revealed on his social media platform that the letter requests the United States president to engage with President Hakainde Hichilema over the restoration of the party's records. According to Tembo, the move is aimed at enabling the party to file its nomination papers and participate in this year's general elections. He stated that the party believes international intervention could help resolve the matter and ensure its democratic participation in the electoral process. He says he remains hopeful that this matter shall be resolved. Meanwhile, Tonse Pamozi Alliance President Brian Mundubile says Zambia will not be divided by tribalism or religious beliefs, but will remain united as one nation. Speaking during this year's Africa Freedom Day celebrations in Lusaka today, Mundubile urged citizens to be a source of hope and inspiration to other African countries and the world at large. He further called on Zambians to uphold peace, love and unity as the country prepares for the upcoming general elections. More details from the following clip.
They reveal uncertainty about their own legitimacy. Africa's liberation struggle was not fought so that independent Africans would inherit managed speech, controlled association, weakened institutions, and constitutional shortcuts. Freedom cannot mean independence without liberty. Freedom cannot mean elections without democratic space. Freedom cannot mean laws without legality. And yet, even now, we refuse despair, because dawn is not the end of the story. Dawn is the beginning of light returning. This is why our lantern matters. A lantern does not wait for daylight. It is lit precisely for uncertain times. It is hope carried by ordinary hands. It is courage made visible. Through our 100 Days of Hope journey, which began on the 4th of May, we were not called to stand on the roadside and watch history pass us by. We are called to lift the light, protect the light, walk by the light together with courage, with unity, with love for our country. What freedoms must we protect for Zambia's future? Freedoms of thought to imagine a better republic. Freedom of expression, to speak, write, question, sing, create, and criticize.
The opposition coalition, the People's Pact, has warned that Zambia risks heading into its most violent election in history if the electoral violence witnessed during the nomination process is not urgently addressed. Speaking during a press briefing held on Saturday, Secretary General Cosmas Musamali accused the ruling United Party for National Development for allegedly sponsoring attacks against opposition candidates in several constituencies across the country. Musamali claimed that the candidates affiliated with the alliance were attacked in areas including Zambezi West, Monze, Roma Ward, Chinika Ward, Nangoma and Nega Nega during the filing of nomination papers. He further alleged that the police officers failed to intervene in several incidents. The People's Pact also alleged that some candidates were beaten and nomination papers destroyed, actions the alliance says undermine democratic participation. More details in the following report.
Let me briefly outline the incidents that occurred across the country, very specific to the Socialist Party candidates and the People's Party. In Zambezi West, our parliamentary candidate, Comrade David Gambita, was physically attacked and his nomination papers were torn in full view of the police officers. Despite the assault, he showed extraordinary courage and managed to file his papers. In Nangoma constituency, our representatives were near attacked during the nomination process. It was only the intervention of local residents, ordinary citizens, that prevented what could have been a very serious incident. In Monze, our members were attacked inside the civic center itself, inside the government building, while police officers looked on and did nothing. In Roma Ward in Lusaka, our candidate was beaten so severely that he was unable to file his nomination papers. He was robbed of his democratic right through violence. In Chinika Ward, also in Lusaka, our candidate was similarly attacked in a separate incident of targeted political violence. And in Nega Nega, despite being assaulted, our candidate showed resilience and filed his nomination papers regardless. 6 incidents, 6 constituencies, 1 common thread, UKD-sponsored violence, and a police service that failed to protect our candidates and the integrity of the democratic process. And we must also note, ladies and gentlemen, with equal seriousness, the violence directed at candidates standing under the Socialist Party, because the people's...
In a related development, aspiring Member of Parliament for Chongwe West constituency under the Socialist Party, Brian Hapunda, has accused the ruling United Party for National Development of bribing the people of Chongwe with money just to win the upcoming elections. Hapunda has urged the people of Chongwe West not to reject the offers being given to them by the ruling party, but only to choose wisely on whom to lead them in the polls. He further pledged to champion development, transparency, and youth empowerment if elected in the upcoming 2026 general elections. Speaking during his engagement with the residents, Hapunda said the people of Chongwe West deserve leadership that prioritizes community needs and delivers meaningful change. He emphasized the need to improve infrastructure, education, health care services, and economic opportunities in the constituency, adding that ordinary citizens have struggled for years with limited development. More details in the following clip.
For last 5 years, sibenza bwera na ndrama manyumba yatu. Vantu vezogona na njala. Manje tafika ma election, va UPND vaipeza kuti ndrama yopasa vantu. Ija ndrama mene wapasa va UPND ni ndrama yanu. Ni taxpayers money yanu. So, tenti vachite don't kuvewa. Pamena valiri va UPND, pamena wazamba enda va campaigna. Tantamani mutenge ni ndrama zanu. But povota pa 13th August musavotele, mukavotele candidate wanu, Brian Hapunda na Socialist Party.
We take our first commercial break and return with international news. Please do stay with us.
You look miserable. Are you okay?
I'm pregnant.
What? Compliments of the season to you too. What is this?
Divorce papers.
You have kept me childless, and you want me to stop?
Here I am thinking I am a sinner and I want to see the Messiah, but
What happened to this woman in the picture? You spend the whole day wrapping my woman up in a tank. So do you think I buy this as decorations?
I know you think I'm the cause of this. Believe me. I'm 100% okay.
What are you doing? Come on, please. What is this?
You don't wear them.
But those are still mine.
How could you? Do you love her that much to humiliate me to such an extent? You refer to me as a whore.
So it's true you can get someone out of the ghetto, but you can't get the ghetto out of their mind.
That man who comes here will soon know why he should have stayed home and not here.
Nothing boza you, boza you.
You are the reason why.
Welcome back, and now for international news. The death toll from the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo is continuing to climb, with concerns over the spread of the virus to other nations. Health officials say more than 200 people have died, and there are more than 850 suspected cases in the country. 3 Red Cross volunteers died in the Democratic Republic of Congo from suspected Ebola, likely caught while managing dead bodies, the organization has said. For more details, we monitored the BBC.
The death toll from the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo is continuing to climb, with concerns over the spread of the virus to other nations. Health officials say 204 people have died in 3 provinces in the DRC from 867 suspected cases. The outbreak is the biggest Africa has seen for a decade. The Red Cross says 3 Congolese volunteers have died in the Ituri province after apparently contracting Ebola there. The DRC government has suspended all flights to and from one of the epicenters of the northeastern city of Bunia to limit the risk of spreading the virus. The Transport Ministry says all humanitarian, medical or emergency flights must be assessed and require approval from health and aviation authorities. The Africa Centers for Disease Control has warned 10 countries are now at risk from the virus. Our Global Affairs correspondent Richard Kagowe is in Nairobi with the latest.
There's a lot of heightened surveillance that's being done within the East Africa region, where the Democratic Republic of Congo also lies, shares a border with about 9 countries. And what they're doing currently right now is having a joint coordinated effort in terms of mobilizing resources and also sharing, especially when it comes to medical supplies and also even just the technical expertise to deal in efforts to contain the outbreak itself. So the authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo saying that the numbers have increased, and we listened to the Africa CDC director who indicated actually that the scale or the magnitude of the outbreak is huge, indicating that probably there are about 200 cases by the time that the outbreak was being declared. So there's a lot of surveillance taking place and heightened, sensitization that has been done by respective governments around, just engaging communities and also educating the public about the health crisis that's unfolding in Central Africa.
And Richard, health officials in the DRC have said that the response to the current outbreak is being hindered by the ongoing armed conflict with the M23 rebels holding some territory there in eastern Congo. But we also heard from M23 asking for help. So what's happening there?
Well, the M23 group, which controls some territory within North Kivu and South Kivu province, they have said that they're open to working with international partners. But the government in Kinshasa says it's very difficult, especially when you want to work and ensure that there's a joint coordinated response for the country, because they don't have access to certain territory that the rebels do continue to control. So what they're saying is that they're engaging not the group directly, but through their partners, partners, the US and Qatar, who have been involved in mediation efforts. It's a bit difficult and challenging because when the M23 seized territory there, they replaced, the local bureaucracy, including the health ministry. A lot of medical aid workers were forced to leave. It's a bit challenging right now because for them and humanitarian organizations, they can't really find their way into the region simply because the logistics hubs, which is the main airport in Goma, was closed since January 2025 when the rebels took control. So that has really interrupted efforts perhaps to get the much needed medical supplies and also the personnel into the ground. And so the M23, which largely is seen as not being in a position perhaps to deal with an Ebola epidemic, which they've never dealt with before, has really raised concerns in terms of really getting access into this area. So at the moment, the M23 says they are open, but then of course the authorities in Kinshasa are saying it's a little bit difficult. That's why they're pursuing diplomatic channels to help them sort of like get access for aid workers and health personnel in the region.
In other international news, Benin's new president, Ramoud Wadagni, officially took office on Sunday with promises of stability, security and regional cooperation. But it was the presence of Nigerian Prime Minister Ali Hamani Lamin Zain at the ceremony that drew particular attention across West Africa. After months of strained relations between Benin and the junta-led Alliance of Sahel States, Zain's visit to Cotonou appeared to signal a tentative diplomatic thaw and a willingness from both sides to reopen dialogue. The inauguration came at a delicate moment for the region, where security threats, economic pressures, and the political divisions following a series of Sahel coups have reshaped alliances among neighboring states. Africa News has more details.
Benin's new president, Romuald Wadagni, took office on Sunday, but beyond the ceremony itself, attention focused on signs of possible diplomatic thaw with neighboring Niger. The presence of Nigerian Prime Minister Ali Mohamed Lamin Zain at the inauguration in Cotonou marked a notable gesture after months of strained relationships between Benin and junta-led Sahel states following a wave of coups in the region.
Avec nos pays voisins,
with our neighboring countries, we will place particular emphasis on deepening regional cooperation. Benin will continue to act in favor of stability, dialogue and respect. The Sunday's ceremony suggested a willingness on both sides to reopen communication as security and economic pressure push neighboring countries towards renewed engagement. I believe this is a new path opening up. He has spoken precisely about taking our destiny into our own hands, diversifying our own strategies, and that really encourages us. And I believe that people of these countries have always stood together. The most important thing is to work on strengthening our ties and to ensure that we can work together, even if it means that those who came from elsewhere must now leave us in peace. Wadagni succeeds Patrice Talon after a landslide election win, and observers say his inauguration may signal a more conciliatory regional approach from Benin's new leader.
We go for a second and last commercial break. We'll be back with sports.
New vibes with BMTV. Get ready, Zambia, because BMTV is about to bring you the hit with local stories, drama, comedy, and news that is all about you. Local vibes only. Catch stories from Lusaka to Livingston, towns to villages, Zambian stories told by Zambians. Drama and entertainment from townships to trending shows. We have the best local content. News that you care about. Local news, national pride, and what's happening in your hood. Your stories, our spotlight. We feature you, your talents, and your passions. Tune in now and let's vibe, Zambia. BMTV, Zambia's light, Zambia's voice.
Welcome back, and now in sports news. Mohamed Salah could not bring himself to walk away 20 minutes after the final whistle had heralded the end of his Liverpool career The Egypt international stood before the COP and basked in the acclaim of his supporters. 9 years, 442 appearances and 257 goals had led to this moment. His goodbye had been weeks in the making, and still he looked like a man desperate not to end it all. Salah was substituted in the 74th minute of Sunday's 1-1 draw with Brentford at Anfield, receiving a standing ovation before kissing the turf. After the match, his teammates and staff formed a guard of honor, through which the winger walked in tears. More details in the following report.
Mohamed Salah brought down the curtains on a glittering 9-year Liverpool career on Sunday, leaving Anfield in cheers after his final appearance for the club. The Egyptian forward received a standing ovation during Liverpool's 1-1 draw with Brentford before an emotional farewell from teammates and fans after the final whistle. The 33-year-old leaves Anfield with 257 goals in 442 appearances, helping Liverpool win 2 Premier League titles, the Champions League, and 8 major trophies overall. Salah also departs as Liverpool's top Premier League scorer and one of the most influential players of the club's modern era.
Scenes of joy welcomed Senegalese football fans who had been detained in Morocco as they returned home after receiving their pardon. The fans had been arrested over hooliganism linked to chaotic Africa Cup of Nations final in January. Back in Dakar, they expressed grief and relief. During the AFCON final game in Rabat in January, Senegalese fans attempted to storm the field and Senegalese players walked off in protest over a late penalty awarded to the hosts Morocco. More details courtesy Africa News.
Scenes of joy welcomed Senegalese football fans who had been detained in Morocco as they returned home after receiving a royal pardon. The fans had been arrested over hooliganism linked to a chaotic Africa Cup of Nations final in January. Back in Dakar, they expressed gratitude and relief. We were wary and uncertain in Morocco, but now we give thanks to God. This release is a surprise. Personally, I thought I would serve a year in prison and be released on January 18th next year. 18 Senegalese fans were sentenced in February to up to a year in prison on charges including damaging sporting facilities. Some have already completed their sentences and were released in April.
Je voudrais dire aux supporters qui nous ont rejoints aujourd'hui.
I would like to say to the supporters who have joined us today that we have gone through this ordeal with them, that we felt a part of ourselves had remained in Morocco. Tonight we will sleep peacefully. Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye praised Moroccan authorities and King Mohammed VI for their gesture ahead of the Tabaski Islamic holiday.
As we end the news, a quick recap of the stories that made headlines. HH marks African Freedom Day with call for unity and development. PEP seeks Trump's intervention over election participation. Mundubile calls for unity ahead of the elections, while in international news, the Democratic Republic of Congo reports more than 200 Ebola deaths, while in sports, Liverpool legend Salah bows out after 9 glorious years. Thus brings us to the end of the BMTV main news at 18 hours. Thank you for joining us on Topstar Channel 114, on Facebook as BMTV Channel 114, on YouTube as BMTV Zambia, and online as www.bmtvzambia.com. A special thank you to our dedicated production crew, the news team, our camera operators, technical staff, and the entire BMTV family for making tonight's broadcast possible. From all of us here at BMTV, have a peaceful Africa Freedom Day evening. And remember to join us again tomorrow for more credible, timely, and engaging news coverage. Good night.
where we are about to lose a lot of money.
I thought we were supposed to be fighting this battle as brothers, as family, and not be divided.
Are we the family that shoot first and ask questions later? Father never wanted me. He disowned me.
Hey,